Hey there, it's Mike Cooch with Digital Marketing Lab. I want to share with you our formula and our process of how we think about getting from that six-figure in revenue mark to the seven-figure in revenue mark. Okay, we know so many online entrepreneurs that get stuck down in kind of that low six-figure mark and they're kind of grinding it out. And year after year, nothing really changes. They kind of get stuck down there in that low six figures and they're trying to figure out, how do I break through? How do I get to the next level? So what we found is that the key is that you've got to ask yourself good questions, and you've got to have a formulaic process for identifying what are the areas in your business that you need to focus on to get growth going. Okay, there's only so many things that you need to focus on at your business to get growth going. But the problem is, if you don't have a good process for determining where you're currently stuck, what your current bottleneck is, then you tend to just stay in whatever cycle and kind of whatever grind it is that you've been doing, right? Out of habit and routine, and just not having real good clarity on, where it is that you're spending your time and impact that it's making or not making. You stay in that routine and you just kind of get stuck. So we found that we have to have a process. We have to have a formulaic process where we are making sure that we're asking the right questions to identify the areas that we're stuck, so we know then where to focus our energies. So what I did is I recorded a video where I walk you through that process. I'm gonna go ahead and head over there now, and I'm gonna share with you our process, our formula, and the questions that we ask so that we know where we need to direct our energies to get unstuck and get revenue growing. In this video, I wanna walk you through the predictable growth formula and how you can use this formula with a series of questions to get unstuck at your business. And what I mean by unstuck is if your business is not growing, you're putting in effort, but you're not able to figure out why you can't get it to grow consistently, then that's what this framework and these series of questions are for. Okay, just starting real quick with the framework itself here, you can see it's just a nice simple framework, and that's important, okay? It's a simple reminder that really, if you are just improving in 4 areas in your business, then your business will grow. And if you just improve in any one of these areas and hold everything else constant, your business will grow, right? So if you get more traffic to your business and everything else stays constant, your business will grow. If you increase the conversion rate of that traffic and everything else stays constant, your business will grow. If you get more people, or if you get people to spend more money, with you when they come and make that first transaction, everything else remains constant, your business will grow. And then if you are able to increase the average lifetime value of your customer over time, and everything else remains constant, your business will grow. Now, the reality is we want to be improving in each of these areas all the time, right? We'd love to see incremental improvement in each of these areas all the time. And when you're able to do that, that's when your business grows quickly and consistently, okay? So that's what this framework is for. It's just a nice, simple reminder that, if you focus on these areas in your business, it will grow, okay? So in terms of getting unstuck, you're kind of looking at the inverse of this, right? Which you're asking the question following the theory of constraints, which is, where is my growth bottleneck? If I know that improving in each of these areas will increase growth in my business, if I am not growing, then someplace in here I'm stuck. Okay, someplace in one of these 4 areas is serving as a bottleneck to growth at my business. So we want to identify what that is so that we can go attack it, knock out that constraint, and free up growth again at your business, okay? So the way that we do that is by the series of questions down here, the predictable growth formula, focusing questions. These questions are inspired by a book called The Goal. And The Goal is a famous book in business schools all about how to use the theory of constraints in business. So what we want to do is we want to ask the series of questions to make sure that we're focused on the right things to get growth going again. So the first question is, in which of the 4 key areas outlined above is my business currently most stuck? Okay, and there's a word in there that I think is really incredibly important, and that word is most. Okay, most stuck. Because the reality is, as an entrepreneur, if you look at these 4 areas of your business on any given day, you'll probably come up with a list of 100 things that you would like to improve. And 20 in this area and 30 in this area and 20 over here, 25 over there, right? That's just the nature of being an entrepreneur. If you ask me on any given day what I would like to improve at my business, the list would just go on and on. We're not satisfied. We're never satisfied. But the reality is that there is only currently one thing in your business that is most stuck, and that is acting as the constraint or the bottleneck at your business. The way to think about this, to understand this, is just thinking about a chain and thinking about the idea of a weak link in a chain, right? So if each link in that chain can hold 100 pounds, okay, nice strong chain, but then you have one link that can only hold 10 pounds, well, now the maximum weight that chain can hold is only 10 pounds. Even though all of those other links can hold 100 pounds, that one link will cause the chain to break as soon as you go to 11 pounds. So that's the way you've got to think about it at your business as well. You have all kinds of things that you would like to improve, but there's only one thing that is acting as the weakest link right now. So, let's say that I know I need more traffic and I know I need a better conversion rate. But the industry standard conversion rate for my business is 5% on cold traffic, and I'm only getting 2.5%. Well, even though I know I need more traffic as well, it doesn't make sense for me to go and invest in a bunch of more traffic if I'm only converting at 2.5% when the industry standard is 5%. Okay, my biggest bottleneck right now is I've got to get that conversion rate up to or better than industry standards, then invest in all the traffic I want. Okay, so only one thing at a time, and that's key because we don't have the resources to improve everything, simultaneously. So we're going to identify that one thing, that one place that we are most stuck. And what I want to stress is that you've got to do this based on metrics. You can't do this on gut feel, because we're emotional as entrepreneurs and our gut oftentimes, unfortunately, is wrong. So use a metric-based approach here. You should know, what is an industry standard opt-in rate? What is an industry standard conversion rate on cold traffic? How long should I retain my customers according to industry average? How often should I get them to come back and buy? If you don't know those metrics, get in touch with me and I'll help you establish them, okay? And just about any business, you can just search online and you can find those metrics. Okay, once I've done that, then step number 2 is, what ideas do I have to eliminate that constraint? So what you want to do is just brainstorm a list of things. Let's say that my opt-in rate is too low. So I want to brainstorm, well, I think I could have a better image. I think I could have better headline, better copy. I could have a totally different offer. Okay, so those are all ideas that you can test. And that's what step number 3 is. Step number 3 is, what experiments can I run to test my ideas? And we work here based off of this concept of experiments, that we are going to just run experiments and let the data tell us what we should be doing. Okay, I will run some split tests and test my headlines. I'll run split tests and test my images. Somewhere by doing that, I'm going to find my data-driven, data-backed improvements, and then I'm going to use those and learn from those for future landing pages. So I'm going to run experiments to find out what I can do to improve that landing page. And then step number 4, this is critical. What will I stop doing to ensure I get these experiments done? Okay, again, as entrepreneurs, we have a million things that we'd like to be doing right now, and we probably have way too many things that we are doing right now at the expense of the one thing that can make the biggest difference. So we've identified now the one thing that can make the biggest difference. We need to stop doing some things, stop putting time and money and energy into trying to improve this big list of things over here, when again, those links in my chain are already strong enough. My weak link is over here. So I need to invest those resources and my time and energy and money into fixing that weak link. Okay, so the reality is we're going to have to stop doing some stuff. We don't have unlimited time, energy, money. Okay, it's just reality. So we're going to have to stop doing some things and commit to that to make sure that we're doing the right things. And then step number 5, how will I know when this is no longer the constraint? Okay, at some point or another, you will have gotten that metric up to industry standards or even better. Okay, I took my opt-in rate from a 10% opt-in rate to a 40% opt-in rate. I'm doing great. Well, now the reality is that is no longer my constraint. My conversion rate on cold traffic has dropped to 3% when the industry average is 5%. That's now my number one issue, isn't it? So I've got to go and work on that. So what you can see here is you've got this tool, this process that is essentially a never-ending process of improvement, right? Because once you've gone through those 5 questions and once you've run your experiments and you've improved in a certain area that was your constraint, it's no longer your constraint. You go back through and you ask these questions again and you identify your new constraint and then you work on that and you just keep doing that. And if you just keep doing that, your business is going to grow consistently, predictably, beyond your imagination, I promise you. So that is the predictable growth formula. Those are the 5 focusing questions. Put them to use in your business and use them to make sure that you're making good, objective, non-emotional decisions about where to spend your time and energy and resources. And I promise you, you're going to see your business get unstuck and grow because of it. I hope that that was helpful for you. I hope that you can see by having that process, you can very systematically determine what's the area of my business where I'm currently bottlenecked, right? Because the reality is that we all have a bottleneck at any point in our business, right? We're either not getting enough attention, enough traffic, we're not converting that traffic well enough, or we're not extracting enough revenue from each sale. Whatever it is, we all have a bottleneck that's preventing us from getting to the next level. Now, the far majority of people that I talk to in the businesses that I look at, they're really stuck in one area, and that is having enough attention. That's getting enough visibility and traffic at their business to get a nice, full, consistent sales and marketing pipeline so that they can get consistent growth in their sales coming out of the bottom of that pipeline. Okay, the far majority of people that I see that are stuck kind of in that low 6-figure mark, it's not that they don't have a good product, it's not that they don't have a good service. They're working real hard to take care of their customers or their clients, but the problem is they're kind of doing it in a bit of a vacuum, right? They're doing it, for a very limited number of people, and there's a very limited number of their target audience that even knows who they are, right? And so when you see a business that's kind of starving and not really getting growth from their from all of their effort that they're putting into it, it's usually just that all of their effort is going into the very bottom of the funnel, right? They're going into that final sales process and how do I take care of my customers and clients, and they just don't have enough action going on in the very top of the funnel. They just don't have enough people that are figuring out, hey, who are you and what is it that you have to offer, and why should I consider giving you my attention and then ultimately giving you my money? So if you are stuck in that low 6-figure mark, you're trying to figure out how to get to 7 figures, I really encourage you to focus on that area, to focus on getting as much attention and visibility as you can into your business and doing it in a systematic way so that you are moving people through your sales pipeline in a predictable, systematic way. We call that an attention engine. Okay, an attention engine. Our goal with an attention engine is to suck the oxygen out of the room. And what we mean by that is that when we figured out who our target prospect is, we want to do everything that we can to get as much awareness with them as we can, and then to keep attention by just staying in front of them. Stay in front of them all the time. That's what we mean by sucking the oxygen out of the room, is we want to have as much of their attention as possible so that it's not going off to our competition, or just that they're just not aware of us and paying attention to us anymore. We know that people have short attention spans, and so we've just got to stay in front of them all the time. Okay, but that attention engine, just getting in front of them and just saying, hey, I'm just going to get attention, that's not enough. What we've realized is that there's really 4 components to that attention engine. One is that it's got to be affordable. Okay, for smaller business owners like you and I, startup business owners, people that are bootstrapping their businesses, we've got to have a way of keeping in front of people that is affordable. Otherwise, if it's not affordable, we do it in little kind of stops and starts, right? We'll invest some money into a campaign, and then we'll wait and cross our fingers and hope that we get enough money out of it to then invest in another campaign. The problem with that is that it kills component number 2, which is consistency. You've got to have consistency. Okay, if you don't have a consistent amount of people coming into that pipeline every day and moving through that pipeline every day, then what you end up with is real lumpy sales results, right? You have a really good month and a really low month and a really good month and a really low month. And the problem with that is, without that consistency, you can't reliably invest in the other things that you need in your business to grow, right? You can't invest in the other people to add to your team to help you. You can't invest in improving your products and your services because you're not really sure if that next month is going to bring the kind of revenues that you need to be able to support that. So without that consistency, you don't really have the confidence to continue to invest in your business and really push it for growth. The third thing is that our attention engine has to be systematic. And what I mean by systematic is that it's got to predictably and reliably, systematically bring people through stages of my sales process. Okay, if you buy into the old kind of AIDA formula of awareness, interest, desire, and action, right? The high level stages of a marketing funnel, I've got to have something that systematically brings people through that initial awareness of who I am, what my business is about, what my products are about, and then move them through these levels of interest where they're becoming more interested in my products or my services, whatever it is that I have to sell, and then to desire, to the point where they actually really want my products and services. They believe that what I'm offering them can solve real problems for them and help them get to their goals, so that they really want that product. And then finally is action, to get them to take action and buy from us. There's all kinds of sales and marketing funnels. So whether it's AIDA or something else, know, like, trust, try, buy, there's lots of them. But they're all essentially the same thing in that they are moving people through a process to ultimately buy from you. Whatever it is that you are doing to get people's attention, you've got to believe that it is systematically pulling them through that process to ultimately end up in a sale, right? So that you know that you're going to get the ROI that you need from those investments that you're making in marketing and sales efforts. Okay, and then the fourth component, the final thing, is it's got to be automated. Okay, it's got to be automated. If we're starting businesses today and we're not taking advantage of automation, particularly when we're smaller businesses and we don't have all the resources in the world, we are just handicapping ourselves and really taking away much of our chance at success. Because if you are a small business and you're constrained by resources, there are so many things that you have to do every day to run your business and make it work, that if you are not investing in a sales and marketing process that has automation, the reality is you're just not going to do it, right? You're going to have so many other things that are screaming at you for your attention, whether it's the customer that needs help, or the client that's ringing you on your cell phone and saying, I need attention, or that your e-commerce store is down, or that you're trying to get more products up online. You're doing all of those other things to build your business. And what happens is your sales and marketing process stops because it's not automated. It's relying on your manual effort too much, right? So we have to have an attention engine that is as automated as possible, that is moving people as systematically and consistently through that process as affordably as possible, so that they are coming out as customers on the other end. Okay, so that's our attention engine methodology, and those are the 4 key components that you have to have in it. So if you want to go from 6 figures to 7 figures, it's all about, in my experience, developing that attention engine and really making the investment to ensure that you have an automated process of growing that attention and moving people through that process. If that resonates with you, stay tuned. We'll have more videos and more lessons here coming your way to show you how you can build an attention engine at your business and put it to use here quickly and effectively.